Okay, this is our second screencast on area. Now this is the similar problem that we did a couple of lessons ago when we had to work out the perimeter. Remember the shape looked like this and we didn't know some of the sides, so we had to work those out. Well, I've brought this shape back because this time we want to work out the area. So the trick is, how do we actually work out an area of a shape that's not a standard shape? I mean, this is not a rectangle. The key, if you have a look closely, the key is to see if you can break it down into two smaller and simpler shapes by drawing in a line. So, for example, I'll get my ruler out, and we might see that I could actually draw a line. I could draw a line in this shape along there, which then turns it into two smaller rectangles. So one rectangle, and I'll mark it in red, there's one rectangle in here, and we'll change colour, we'll make it perhaps yellow and green. The other rectangle is in here. So whenever you're confronted with a shape that looks a little bit irregular, try to simplify it into smaller shapes that you can work out the area of. And so this shape is actually really just two rectangles stuck together. And so the total area of this shape, we call this, by the way, a composite shape, because it can actually be made up of smaller, simpler shapes. So the area of this composite shape is actually equal to the area of the red rectangle plus the area of the green rectangle. Okay, so that means if we can work out the area of the red rectangle and work out the area of the green rectangle, all we need to do is add those two areas up together, and that will give us the area of the whole shape. So let's see if we can do that. Actually, why don't you pause the video now and see if you can do it yourself first. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've had a go at this, and hopefully you're successful. We'll soon find out. Okay, so the area of our red rectangle, what colour are we? Green at the moment, so we'll change to red. Okay, well, not quite red. So the area of the red rectangle there we go. What is it? Well, we can see, if we can remember, the area of any rectangle is its length multiplied by its width. So in the case of the red rectangle, the length was 3x plus 8 and the width was 3x. So that's going to equal the length by the width, which is 3x plus 8, put it in brackets, remember to put it in brackets, multiplied by the width, which is 3x. And because it's only a single term, I don't need to put that in brackets, okay? If that was 3x plus 2, for example, I would have to put it in brackets. But at the moment, I don't need to. I need to use brackets for that. So we can actually expand that by multiplying out. So if you want to use the rectangle method, or sorry, the square method to multiply that, you can. The other quicker method, and it is a bit quicker, is simply multiply the term in front by each of the terms inside the brackets. So we go 3x times 3x, well 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 3 is 9, and x times x is x squared, so it's going to be 9x squared plus 3 times 8 is 24, but it wasn't 3, it was 3x, so it's 24x. And if you want to use the square box method to work that out, we'll draw a little box, 3x plus 8 along the side, and then 3x in there, sorry, little rectangle there, so 3x times 3x is 9x squared, it goes in there, and the second box will be 8 times 3x, which is 24x. So that would equal 9x squared plus 24x, which is what we got. Okay, so you might want to pause the video now if you had problems with it. Now that you've seen how we've done the red one, you might want to see if you can do the green one on your own. But if you've successfully done it, then keep watching and see if you got it right. So the area of our green rectangle is going to be, let me see, it's going to be its length times its width. Well, if we look at the green rectangle, there it is there. Now, no, it's not 5x plus 4 because that's the length of the whole side. We just want the length of that rectangle. So it's going to be that distance there. So that's the length of the green rectangle, 2x plus 4. And the width of this rectangle is going to be that distance there, which is, yep, you guessed it, 3x plus 2. So the area of that rectangle is going to be, the area will be length times width again, which will equal 2x plus 4, put it in brackets, multiplied by, now this time the width is 3x plus 2, so we need another set of brackets there, 3x plus 2. Okay. Now, I want to expand that and get rid of the brackets so that I can then add these two rectangles together and collect our like terms. So over here, I'm going to use the box method. But before what you can do now, you can pause it, and I want you to firstly see if you can do that on your own, expand that expression, getting rid of the brackets, and collecting like terms and simplifying it, just the area of the green rectangle. So pause it now, have a go, and then when you've done, resume the video. Okay, so welcome back, hopefully you've had a go. So we're going to use our box method to multiply that expression. So it's going to be 2x plus 4, it's going to be 2x plus 4 along the top, that's the first bracket, and 3x plus 2 down the side, so 3x plus 2. So we work out the boxes. 3 times 2 is 6, x times x is x squared, 3 times 4 is 12, but it was 3x, so it's 3 times 4 times x, so it's 12x. Down here it's going to be 2 times 2x is 4x, and finally 4 times 2 is 8. And hopefully you'll also notice that 4x and 12x are both alike terms, so we can combine those two together. So that's actually going to equal 6x squared plus 12x plus 4x, which is 16x plus 8. So there's the area of our green box. It's actually 6x squared plus 16x plus 8. So, can you work out what the final area of the whole shape is? How are you going to work it out? What two things you're going to add together. Have a think about it. Pause the video if you need to. And if you said that we need to add, oops, wrong colour. We need to add this expression, which is the green one, to this expression, add those together, you'd be absolutely correct. And so the final area of the whole shape, the composite shape, is going to equal 9x squared. I'm going to group them. So it's 9x squared plus 24x, which is that one, plus 6x squared plus 16x plus 8. Now let's identify our like terms. Well, there's our x terms, 24x and 16x, they're like terms. What other like terms can we see? That's right, 9x squared and 6x squared are like terms. So if we now put it all together as a final statement, 9x squared plus 6x squared, well, that's 9 plus 6, that's 15 lots of x squared. 24x plus 16x is 40x, that's plus 40x, and we're left with plus 8 on the end. So guess what? There is our expression for the area of this composite shape. And the final thing, the final question I could ask you is, if you had to work out the area of this shape when x equaled 3 or x equaled 5, for example, I think you know what to do. You would substitute x, where you see the x in this expression, you'd substitute the value 5 wherever you saw the x. So that would be 15 times 5 squared plus 40 times 5 plus 8, and you could go ahead and work that out. And you might want to have a go at that now. Okay, thanks a lot. I hope that's helped.